From oil deals to sanctions, one currency has quietly controlled the entire world for almost a century, the American dollar. But right now, this system is being tested. Can the world ever be free from the dollar system? Today, we'll break down the complete history, new players, realistic timelines, and the exact indicators that tell us when the dollar will lose its power. This is complete analysis. Let's get started. First question: what does freedom from the dollar mean? When people say freedom from the dollar, they usually mean three things. First, trade and commodities are no longer period only in dollars. Second, central banks no longer hold the majority of their reserves in dollars. Third, global payment systems are no solely dollar based. What's the current situation? The dollar is still the number one reserve currency. Approximated 56 to 58% of the world's official reserves are held in dollars. This data comes from the IMF's International Monetary Fund's official database. It's called COFER data. This practical power is what makes the dollar so strong. This is where our story begins. How did the dollar become so powerful? This story begins after World War II. In 1954, the Bretton Woods Agreement took place. 44 countries came together and decided to make the dollar the global currency. At that time, the dollar was linked to gold, meaning $35 is equal to 1 ounce of gold. In 1971, a major change occurred. President Nixon completely disconnected the dollar from gold. This is called the Nixon shock. But even then, American dominance did not end. Why? Deep and liquid markets, massive amounts of money could move easily. Safe assets, US Treasury bonds are the world's safest investment. Political stability, America was a stable nation. Trust, the world had confidence in America. For decades, all contracts, reserves, and commodity markets built their system around the dollar. This legacy is so strong that replacing it is extremely difficult. Why are countries now trying to change the system? There are three main reasons. Reason 1: geopolitics. When countries face US sanctions or feel political pressure, they think we need an alternative. Look at this real example. In 2022, when the Russia Ukraine war started, Western countries removed Russia from the SWIFT system. SWIFT is the system through which international payments are made, and they froze over $300 billion of Russians' assets. This incident showed the entire world what could happen if you have problems with America. That's why countries like Russia, Iran, and China now want to trade in their local currencies to reduce Americans' control. Reason 2: digital currencies and new payment platforms can solve the problems that previously favored the dollar. China's digital yuan. China is promoting its digital yuan globally. The People's Bank of China (PBOC) has started cross-border pilot, meaning test transactions with countries like Saudi Arabia and the UAE. According to Reuters news agency, 2025, China is actively pushing its digital yuan to create a multipolar currency system, meaning the dollar's monopoly would not remain. These digital technologies make transactions outside the dollar system cheaper and faster. Reason 3: political groups or BRIC alliance. BRICS stand for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. This group has now expanded to 10 plus members. These countries are working on their own payment systems and possibly a common currency to eliminate dependency on SWIFT and the dollar. According to GIS reports or analysis, actual progress is being made in BRICS payment system development. This is not just talk, real work is happening. What's the challenge? Why is replacing the dollar so difficult? Imagine you need to replace the dollar. You would need these things: liquidity, deep markets where a large amount of money can move easily; stability, value remains consistent, not too much volatility; convertibility, easy to exchange; trust, the world must have confidence in the new system. Now here's the problem. The US Treasury market is the world's largest and safest market. Trillions of dollars move in this market every day. No other market can match this yet. Network effects. Think about it. If everyone has WhatsApp and you need to talk someone, if you start using Signal or Telegram but everyone else is on WhatsApp, there's a problem, right? The same applies to the dollar. Banking systems, invoicing templates, contracts, capital markets. Everything is building around the dollar. Even if two countries start trading in local currencies, They usually settle their transactions through dollars in the background. Let's look at the actual changes taking place. Change number 1. Reserve currency sharing is decline. IMF data shows that the dollar's share is slowing decline. Not rapidly, but the direction is clear. It was previously 60% plus, now it's 56 to 58%. It's a small change, but direction matters. Change number 2. China is actively pushing the yuan. China has taken multiple steps, currency swap agreements with dozens of countries, developed cross-border yuan payment systems, exporting QR payment technology, increasing yuan usage in trade deals. Reuters reported April 2025 that China is aggressively promoting the yuan globally, especially when the dollar is weakening. Change number 3. Shifts in oil markets. Major oil exporters like Saudi Arabia have joined CBDC central bank digital currency cross-border trials. This is a symbolic step, meaning they are moving away from a strict dollars only system. Change number 4. BRICS payment infrastructure is being built. BRICS countries are actively prototyping their payment system. This is technically complex, but politically it's a big deal. It means a serious alternative is being created. When will this realistically happen? Let's talk practically. I'll outline three possible scenarios. Scenario 1. Slow change, most likely next 10 years. Dollar remains dominant but reserve share decreases slightly. Non-dollar trade increases in regional areas. This is slow, gradual change, no dramatic shift. Scenario 2. Multi-currency world, possible 5 to 20 years. Multi-currencies become equal important. Dollar, euro, yuan may be BRICS currency. Dollar is weaker but still important. Reserve share could reach 40 to 45%. Different regions prefer different currencies. Scenario 3. Sudden big change. Low probability but possible. This could happen if a major crisis hits the US economy, hyperinflation, or debt collapse. Countries reject the dollar in a coordinated manner. A major technical breakthrough occurs, widely accepted digital currencies, but this is very low. What does professionally analysis say? JP Morgan, one of the world's largest investment banks, and other analysts say de-dollarization will be gradual, not sudden, but slow over time. These five things need to be watched. If all of these move together, change will accelerate. IMF COFER data check the dollar's reserve percentage every quarter. SWIFT and BIS payment data, how many payments are being made in yuan or euro versus dollar. Oil contracts are major deals being priced as non-dollar currencies. CBDC pilots, how many currencies are adopting digital currency cross-border transactions. BRICS payment system launch, is there any actual binding agreement or infrastructure launch? If all of these indicators move in a positive direction together, understand that the pace is accelerating. What does this mean for you? For ordinary people, expect slow change. If you do international business, the currency mix may change. For investors, diversification is essential. Don't depend on just one currency. Watch global economic policies for countries. Focus on regional trade agreements. Develop local currency swaps. Prepare digital currency infrastructure. Maintain gold reserves. These strategic moves are now important. So, what's the final answer? The world would not abandon the dollar instantly. That's not practical. But a new multipolar monetary system is slowly being built piece by piece. Watch these CBDC trials, BRICS developments, IMF reserve data updates. If you want a detailed video on the digital yuan or a deep analysis of the BRICS payment system, let me know in the comments. I'll make part 2. This was a complete research backed analysis from data to timelines. Subscribe to the channel for more global insights. Stay informed, stay ahead. See you in the next video.